All right, welcome to the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. I'm your man, Big Jack. This is where we prove we are stronger together. That if each one would reach one, we can all grow and glow. And I'm super excited about today's show only because it's the day before Christmas. And just wanted to come on here. I don't have any special guests. I just wanted to come on live and say hey to everyone who's out here who has been supporting us all year long, and take a little time just to set aside for any and everyone who who has been with us through the journey, and not only been with us through the journey, but also has been supporting, been guests on the show, and even that. So this is just a time for Big Jack Story Time to reach out to those who have been watching and supporting. And I just want to say, I know it's a but pre Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. And then at the same time, I want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 2025 has been a wonderful year, and I'm super excited and looking forward to 2026. But it's been awesome. I mean, we've had a wonderful year going out and doing things. And this year, this is where the show started in January of 2025. And I said, how are we going to celebrate and how are we going to show our appreciation? And I didn't really even put a lot together, but I wanted to, if there's anyone out there who have been watching the show and want to come up on the stage, I said I'll drop the link there. So leave your comments saying, hey, you will come up. And if I know you and you've already been listed as a moderator, we'll get you up on the stage and we'll talk with you. But at the same time, again, I want to say happy holidays to you. And this is an opportunity for Big Jack Storytime to go through and one, say thank you on behalf of the team, the Iron Sharpening Iron Universe team. And at the same time, if there's anyone who have anything to say, we're turning the floor over to you. So you can leave your comments down in the comments section. So I know that you're out there. But I again want to say thank you. I remember how we started off the year. So we started off 2025 with our very first guest, the very first guest we had in 2025, and that was Miss Nancy Green. Miss Nancy Green was the first person we ever had up on the show. And matter of fact, it wasn't even a show. We didn't even have the name of the show at the time. We didn't know what we were going to call it. We didn't have a name for it. Wasn't called the Iron Sharpening Iron Show at the time. It wasn't anything. It was Nancy Green and myself. We were talking in a chat on someone else's show or someone else's live, and would say, "Hey, let's." I'm afraid of going live. And that was what Nancy said, and I was like, "Hey, I'll go live with you." And we both met the requirements to be live, which you had to have at that time 50 subscribers. So we both had our 50 subscribers. We was able to go live, and we went live together on our on YouTube. And while we were in the live and we're going through, someone made a comment that you should name this the Iron Sharpening Iron Show, because that's what it was all about. It was about sharpening each other, making each other better. And that's where the belief came from. That's where we all came from, or that's where the motto itself came from, saying that we are stronger together. And that's how it started. So it started with Nancy Green. That was the very first episode. The very first person to be on the show was Miss Nancy Green, and super excited about that because she was a first timer. She wasn't. Hello, Aaliyah, how you doing? And this is the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. I'm your man, Big Jack. So having Miss Nancy Green up there, and I'm gonna try to share my screen just to see Nancy up there, but it's not too. So let me see if I can share my screen a little bit so you can see Miss Nancy. See if I can get it up there. Give me a second. All right. So yeah. Yeah. So that's how the first show was. Miss Nancy Green was the very first guest that we had on the show. So we had Nancy Green up, and it was awesome. It really was an awesome time to have her explain her mission and what her channel was about and all of those good things. So I was glad and grateful for Nancy, and and we became decent friends. I mean, I would say YouTube friends. You know, when you got virtual friends, and that's what it's all about. So, what was that? Salman, how you doing? Merry Christmas, guys. Hey, Merry Christmas to you, Salman Suleiman. Okay, if I get it wrong, please forgive me, but I'm just saying happy holidays to you and thank you for popping in. We're just going through the Iron Sharpening Iron show in 2025, just in a wrap up in a sense is what we're trying to do. I see Brad Lopez. You say have no friends. Well, Brad Lopez, you're in the right place because this is where we make friends. We believe that we are stronger together. That if you say you have the devil, okay, hey, somebody got to have the devil. So if Brad Lopez has the devil, so if you want to hang out with Brad Lopez, he got the devil. So I would say I wouldn't tell anybody that, but you know that's your call, Brad. So you do your thing, man. But anyway, so 2025, the first show of the Iron Sharpening Iron show is where we got our name, and it was right here with Miss Nancy Green that you see up on the screen. Let me see if I can get that screen or share a little bit better because Nancy was awesome. She was awesome being up there, and so from there we started picking out when we were going to do the show. So at that time it was I think that was even a Saturday or Friday night that we did the first episode of the Iron Sharpening Iron show. Like I said, we didn't even have a name then. But then from there we went to saying it was going to be every Wednesday and every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time is when we was going to have our show. So on Wednesdays and Sundays, 7 p.m. Eastern time was the Iron Sharpening Iron show. That's when we did the show. The very next guest that we put up on the stage was William Jackson, the coach from Tennessee State University. Let me see if I can get him up there. If we can show that one. So Tennessee State University strength and conditioning coach. Said the collector 360. All right, have a blessed holiday to you. And I see Harry Maxwell. How you doing? And he says he loved God. So we got Brad Lopez saying he got the devil, and Maxwell saying he loved God. So combined, we're gonna be all right. So we got Maxwell in the house. What's up? How y'all doing? Welcome to the Iron Sharpening Iron show recap. 100%. So Will Jackson was number 2. William Jackson, he's a junior. For those who don't know, William Jackson Jr. is one of my sons, but he is a strength and conditioning coach out of Tennessee State University, and he was the second guest we had on the Iron Sharpening Iron show. At that time, we did have a name. That's what we actually called it, the Iron Sharpening Iron show, because of the first episode. So that was pretty cool. Will Jackson coming on. We were now taking flight as a show where we definitely said we were going to do and we pretty much picked what hours we were going to do. We said we were going to do glad you have faith. Good to have faith. Faith the size of a mustard seed. They say you can move a mountain. Anything bigger than that, you imagine what else you can do with it. Who stole their neck? Hey, when you work out, so let's get some straight now. When you're a football player, both of us were playing, we played ball, working out and all, you're going to lose your neck. So I'm going to tell you that right now. So, all right. So Horizon Rain, I don't know what's going on with that, but anyway. So if you keep it respectful in the chat, you can hang around. Once you get disrespectful, I'm going to cut you out. So I'm just letting you know that right now. So with all that being said, but so he was the second person on the show. We went from there to let's see, who was the next on the show, if I can remember. And I believe it was Miss Jackson, another Jackson, showing heritage. So she was next. So Kayana Jackson, she was teaching us about high school. We went through the high school. She was telling us she was getting ready to graduate from high school. She was on her way to college. And she shared with us the experiences of taking college visits and all. So those who don't know what the show is all about, the Iron Sharpening Iron show, the motto is that we are stronger together. That if each one would reach one, we can all grow and glow. Hey, Patty, how you doing? Whole team, thank you. Says Big Jack and the whole team. Happy holiday season to you all, and you are just the best. Love much. Thank you so much, or much love. Thank you so much, Patty. Patty is a true 100% true supporter of the Iron Sharpening Iron show and the Iron Sharpening Iron universe and all the spinoffs. So thank you, Patty, for the kind words you just said. I see Boss BTV is out there. Hello, Boss. And thank you for popping in. I just wanted to do a little recap of where we started and where we are. I want to show this again for those who didn't know how we got started. So, and Merry Christmas to you, Boss B. So I'm gonna add this to the stage again. If you can look, because we're talking about how we got started, and I know we got Miss Jackson on the stage, but at the same time, if you look, that was YouTube go live together. So we wasn't even on StreamYard at the time. We hadn't hit StreamYard yet. We were just doing go live together. And that was YouTube go live together. Just say cross, I don't even know, maybe we were at 100 subscribers or 200 subscribers, but it was new and fresh. But we started a new show. We had the mission, and at that time we hadn't even went to StreamYard. So we're on StreamYard now as a organization, the Iron Sharpening Iron universe, and all the spinoffs are on StreamYard. But at that time, we were on YouTube. So that's kind of cool. I'm looking at, if you look at the picture and the video going, you can see the mic pinned to my shirt. I didn't have microphones at the time. We didn't have the backgrounds and all that stuff that we have like we do now. We were roughing it in the beginning, 100%. The way the show is broke down, for those who don't know, we get guests from all walks of life. So people from all over the world have been on the Iron Sharpening Iron show in 2025. And what we do is I throw them some questions, and they talk about their experiences or their life journeys or the things that they're into or the things that they're representing. And because of that, we all get stronger. So that was the whole purpose of the show, that if you're here and you're watching the show, you're going to be better once the show is over. You're going to grow because the show, whatever that person was talking about, is going to take you to that next level. So that is what the show is all about. That is what the Iron Sharpening Iron show is all about. The way we was doing it, we was doing a 1 hour show. So the show will have the guests on for 1 hour, and then we did like a 30-minute to an hour after show, where we would bring different guests on the stage and have them come up, and then they would talk to us, the people who came up, about the show. And so it was almost like it was a 2 hour. It wasn't almost, it was a 2 hour show. So we did the 1 hour with the guests, and then a half an hour to an hour after show. So those things changed a little bit as we kept going. This was the second person trying to get through. We got up here and we had I'm gonna see if I can share it. Here we go. Who was it? KC. So KC out of Jamaica. She came on the show and was awesome. She shared her world. She shared, so it was content creators in the beginning, a lot of content creators, because we were building this together. You can see, still on YouTube go live with me, still trying to work it out, trying to figure out what we're going to do. Mike's still clipped to shirts and no background and no backups and backdrops and all of that other stuff. So this is how we were getting started. So it's funny how in 2025, even in January 2025, how much we have grown in the show, how much the show has grown. There was no Iron Sharpening Iron or Iron Sharpening Iron shirts or merchandise and all of that. At this time, there wasn't even any spinoffs from the Iron Sharpening Iron show, but we grew 100%. We grew. But had Casey on, which was really cool, and it was amazing to have her on the show, and all that she had to say was very inspirational. So what Casey does is she's a motivator, strictly to the Word of God. And what she tells you is her experiences, and she bases them off of the stories or a lot of the passages that you'll find in the Bible, and her relationship with God, her experiences, and how the Bible has pointed her in the right direction. And she is out of Jamaica, and she has a sister who is also a content creator in Jamaica, and they're amazing when you get them out there. So if you ever get a chance to check them out, you go and check them out for sure. So we went there, and then we had our another guest on the show, and so going down the lane and all the different people we've had on the show, we had Kendall Jackson, no relation at all. So Kendall Jackson, Howard University at this time, golf player. So she was a female golf player at a Howard University who was getting ready to graduate, and she was on her way to the LPGA. So we was able to talk with Kendall Jackson, and just a quick update. She is now playing in the LPGA. She is actually on tour, and it was cool to have her up on the show, on the stage, and was able to talk to her. So she was when I first got started into content creating or videos and things like that. Kendall was my first client when I was just doing logos. I was just making logos, or what we call branding, hyping your brand up, and things like that. So that's what I was doing in the beginning. And Kendall was my first client. They was the first person who allowed me to make their brand and make hype videos for them and all. And it was a great pleasure to have Kendall Jackson up on the stage and learn more about her. And the interview was awesome, 100%. So thank you, Kendall. There was a great opportunity. Let me see if I can get her back up there. So yeah, so that was Kendall Jackson. And it was a pleasure having Kendall up on the stage, and all the things that she was able to talk about. I appreciated her dad. He was also awesome in helping us put everything together. He's very supportive of his daughter, and you couldn't meet a better family. Even though we got the same last name, we're not related, but you couldn't find a better family than watching these set of Jacksons do what they do. So from there, we had another guest up on the stage. Remember, we were doing 2 shows a week because we were doing Wednesdays and Sundays. So Wednesdays and Sundays, we were doing the show. And so it was not saying getting hard, but it was getting tight as far as getting guests up on the show. So from there, we brought up my first veteran. So let me try to get this one over here. Let's see if I can get to a part. Yeah, there we go. So we had at this time Mr. Paul McKnight. He's a retired Army pilot, helicopter pilot. And so we had a veteran on the stage. Anyone who knows me, if you know Big Jack, you would know that I am a military veteran as well. So having a vet on the stage, and we're sitting there talking about our time in the service. He has the Distinguished Flying Cross for a mission, or his battles overseas, and it was cool to have that conversation with him, and just to talk about his life and all the different things that he has done. But having him on the stage was pretty cool. It really was. It was awesome to have him on the stage and learn so much about him. So that was our first military veteran. Now you say again, why are you bringing this many or so many different people up? Because we are stronger together. Everybody doesn't have the same background, the same walk. But when you really sit down and listen to people and listen to them talk, you realize how close you are to people that they went through the same thing you went through. They're human beings. They have their ups, they have their downs, they have their ins, they have their outs, and that's what it's all about. So it's like, help me come out of my situation. But there's somebody at home who may be thinking about going in the military and having someone from the military. There might be someone who's thinking about going to college and playing a sport, or someone that was graduating high school, or someone who is going through some experiences and need to find how can I get out of this rut? And the word of God is going to help you get there. You might even have some people who are afraid to go live, or even afraid to start their channel, and having a Nancy Green point out some of the things is awesome. So all of that, when you put it all together, say, okay, well, that's what the Iron Sharpening Iron show is about. And that's exactly what we're about. You still see we're still on YouTube. Go live with me. We hadn't hit StreamYard yet, and we're still going. This next group that came up on the stage, though, this was the first time we had a whole group on the stage. And we put a whole group on the stage, and let's back them up some. So we had a whole group up on the stage, and that was the Heavy Hitters Band. So the Heavy Hitters Band was up there with us, and we had a wonderful time with them. We've hyped their songs up. We put them up numerous of times. And again, we were still on Go Live with Me. We hadn't crossed over into StreamYard or any other streaming network or program. But having a Heavy Hitters Band up there was awesome, 100%. And I was so grateful that they were able to share with us um, their experiences as a band. And that right there triggered the first spinoff show that we had. So the first spinoff show from the Iron Sharpening Iron show came from having the Heavy Hitters Band up, and that's when we kicked off We Be Jamming Live. So the last Saturday of every month, 9 p.m. Eastern time, we were doing a musical show called We Be Jamming Live, where we take musical artists, put them up on the stage, highlight them so everybody can get to know who they are. And that was a show set aside and dedicated to the musicians, to the artists. And they didn't have to be musicians. We did comics, we did poets, we put them all on one stage, and it was called We Be Jamming Live. And that was because of the Heavy Hitters. We took that to that level, and we had our first spin-off show, 100% spin-off show. Then from there, we had another person up. And if I'm out of order, I might be out of order. I might not have them all in the right order. I think I do, but if I don't, it's going to be okay, because it is the year in review and what we did for the Iron Sharpening Iron show. But our next guest that we had up on the stage, and let me see if I can get him up there. All right, so that's my man. And we had him up on the stage. He was the first time they had the balloon pop for Find Love. Balloon pop to Find Love or Find Love. And if you ever seen that on MTV or wherever, he was one of the first guests up on that stage. He was one of the first people to, and that's Raw Inked. And he was one of the first guests to ever get up on the stage to participate in that MTV show. So it was good to have him up there. He explained how the show was and how the behind the scenes and all of that. So it gave us another view to some of the things we watch on the regular. So we watch these things on TV. We might watch it on MTV, watch reality TV, and you think it's real and 100% real. And the people are real. Some of the situations are real, but you have to know that a lot of it is scripted. A lot of it is scripted in the background, and people are talking and they're like, hey, what's up? And to have him on the stage mentioning to us and telling us what it was all about and the things that he had to go through, and even did he find love or not find love? And I don't think he found love. I think the balloons were popped while he was up there. But it opened him up as far as his channel. A lot of his videos went viral after that. He is a musician as well. So, a lot of his songs, and he took a lot of his stuff from YouTube, or he did some work on YouTube, but a lot of his work you'll find on TikTok, because it's just a better platform for what he likes to do and what he's doing. So, but it was cool to have Raw Inked up here and telling us about his experience on reality TV. So here we go again. If you're a person that's out there and you're thinking about doing reality TV, or you was wondering how to get into reality TV, it is real. People, they do pick you up. They cast different people. But then when you go in there, they're expecting you to perform in a certain way, because they need the ratings, they need the clicks, the views, the likes. So, matter of fact, if you have not hit that like button yet, hit the like button. If you're out there and you're watching this, hit the like button. Drop some comments in there. Let me know that you're there. I want to say happy holidays to you all who are watching. Got 6 million people in the house right now. So thank you all for out there chilling with me. We just want to do a little recap. We want to recap 2025 in the Iron Sharpening Iron show. And the Iron Sharpening Iron show blew up. It went from just being a one person show with, like I say, with an after show. And we're on YouTube, Go Live with Me. but then things started changing. 100% started changing because what I noticed is I like having conversations with people one-on-one conversations, one-on-one. But I also like having multiple people up on the stage. So the wheels were spinning, and how can I get more people up on the stage? So that's where we were going with that. So the next guest we had on the show, and I'm trying to get there. So a lot of these is back in the beginning. So next guest on the show, my man, Triple E. Triple E, my best friend in the world. He was a guest on my show. He's down in Atlanta, Georgia area. He's he sells homes. He what they call it, inspect homes and appraise homes down in Atlanta, Georgia area. But he was helping us learn a lot of details of how the process works when you're buying a home or if you want to get into real estate and all of those things. So yet again, for those people, that's what you want to get into. This is what this is, how you can learn a little bit about it might be enough to hit your curiosity to take you to the next level. And that's, but this person probably know me better than anybody in the world. We've been together a long, long time. And it was so amazing to have him up on the show with me. And I appreciate him taking the time out of his schedule to hang with me for a little while. So that's my man Triple E right there. If you are not a member yet of the Iron Sharpening Iron, or what really is called Big Jack Storytime channel, you can go ahead and join the channel. Join the channel. I'm telling you, want to join the channel. Get joining right now. If you're not even a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But if you have not joined this channel, you want to join the channel, because at the end of this year, we're going to a whole new level, and you want to be on the ground level when it starts. I'm telling you, you're getting ready. You can get something right now that get it while it's hot. There was people that was back in the day, and this is one of those where Blockbuster. If you wanted to watch a movie, you had to go to Blockbusters. You had to go into it was a box store. You go in, you rent a movie. Please Be Kind and Rewind. It was on VHS, and then they started doing DVDs. But anyway, and they wasn't, another company came along and they offered Blockbuster their idea. This company came along and said, hey, we got an idea. People blah, blah, blah. And Blockbuster say, nah, that would never work. It would never work. Well, you probably can't find a Blockbuster anymore because they're not there. They're gone. But Netflix is out, and that was that company. So, when I'm telling you, you want to jump in right now. So if you haven't joined Big Jack Storytime, which, like I say, the brand is going to change at the end of this year. But if you have not joined, I'm telling you, get in now while you can, and jump on it, because we're getting ready to go to a whole new level. So the opportunity is there. Make sure you go out there and hit that join button. And I need to set a goal. I mean, what's the goal? I mean, let's put a goal out there for people. Let's get 10. By the time this show is over today, we're going to have 10 people that's going to join. And I think I'm moving kind of slow because I'm not going to be able to get through all of this. And because we've had over 75 guests, this year. And that is amazing. So, but anyway, if you haven't hit that like button, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. But I am so grateful that you are here with me, hanging out with me right now. This is the Iron Sharpening Iron Show 2025 in review. And I just want to say thank you for all of you who are here hanging out with me. I know there's so many other things you can do with your life, and hanging with me is one of them. But it didn't have to be the main one. So I thank you all who are hanging out with me. And again, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't hit the join button, go ahead and join. You want to join right now before we change the brand. I'm telling you that right now. So speeding through some of the guests that we've had, and not, rushing them. Everybody was important. But then we had the twins up on the stage, and I'm trying to get them out here. And if you've never seen the Double Rose twins, they were up on the stage, had a wonderful time with them. Another duo, and this was the two content creators we put on the stage at the same time. And that was the first time I had two guests, not the twins, because they was on the same screen, but we had two different people up. And this is when we had crossed over and went into StreamYard. Now we're on StreamYard. We were doing our thing. You can see the tickers clicking at the bottom. And I had, for the first time, two different guests up on the stage. So I had Nemo 504. Is it 504? Yeah. And my man, man, you're gonna get mad for Mind Games. So Mind Games and Nemo, and this was Super Bowl Sunday. So on Super Bowl Sunday, we were up on the stage. I was giving highlights of the game while we were, matter of fact, you see it ticking across the bottom. I was giving highlights of the game while we were interviewing at the same time. Because remember, we do every Wednesday and every Sunday. So having them two up on the stage was awesome. And then at the same time, we were now using a streaming platform outside of YouTube so that I can get more people up on the stage. So that was pretty cool. Joe Remington passed through the shop. So he came in, wonderful guest. It was funny because Joe Remington and he was at a remote location. So we was having a little difficulties with the internet, but at the same time, it was awesome having him on the stage. Dr. Cece came up on the stage. So this is when we started talking about mental health and how important it is for people to recognize the signs of mental health and illness and working on some of those things. Then I had another one of my best friends in the world. My circle is really, really tight, but here we had multiple people up on the stage. So we had Q Barnes was the guest we had. He's a Hall of Famer out of West Virginia Tech University. But then for the first time, we had Creating Change. Walt Jernigan was on the stage, who now is Walt Talks and became my co-host right after this show. So it's pretty cool to have, and you can see that the merchandise was out now. The Iron Shopping Iron shirt was generated. That's the same shirt I got on today. But and that's where we were starting to grow. You can see that we were growing. Walt Jernigan's or Walt Talks, Creating Change. That's my man Guy. And then Q Barnes, the Hall of Famer out of West Virginia Tech University. So we're moving. We're moving in a good direction. From there, you know, we had Dr. Raven. So we've had several doctors up on the show. Educator, telling us about high school. She's the administrator in the high school out of Tennessee. Then we had Snapback Trishana on the stage. Snapback Trishana, content creator. If anybody knows Snapback, she's one of very, very motivating, very encouraging, and she was pushing. We were all pushing at the same time, trying to get to that magic number to be monetized. All of us was trying to fight to get that watch hours and trying to get. We needed our watch hours. We needed the subscribers. We were going through all of that. And Snapback, very encouraging. She is like a sister to me. So I'm so grateful to have her. She was part of the show. From there, we got the man out of Hawaii. The Source was on the show. So we had the Source up on the show, and it was pretty cool having him up there. And if you have never watched, and this is one of the first times we started putting commercials in. So now we was promoting that We Be Jamming Live, and we had the wheel. So I know a lot of people think others had that wheel, but we had that wheel way back before a lot of people. But we were doing the wheel. We had Creating Change, Double Rose Twins. What's his name? I can't even think his name right there. Oh yeah, Shine Dig, the Heavy Hitters, all kinds of different music groups, because that's what we were promoting. So that was pretty cool to have them up there. But now we started putting commercials out. We're in March, if you look at it that way. Then from there, we had my man up there, My Time. Anthony My Time came up on the stage, and it was good to have him up on the stage. And he has a wonderful show as well. And then we went into the world of fish keeping. I want to say this was our first, but it wasn't our first. But Mexicali, fish keeper, he was on the show. he was taking us down the road of, and you can see the commercials were now popping in the back and all of those good things. So we were growing, we were moving, we were moving in a good direction. Super excited about everything that we were doing. And the shows were, like I say, 2 hours, almost 3 hours long. And we had to do some changes because we needed to cut those shows down. It was just starting to be way too long. And we're like, hey, what can we do to make these shows not be that long, but at the same time enjoy? Our first international guest, my first international guest, powerhouse out of the Philippines, Dapper PH. So this was a time that we had to change our time because I think it's a 12-hour difference between the Philippines and the United States, where I am. And so we had to adjust to make, we had to adjust the time as far as when we showed or did the show so that we could respect Dapper PH. But Dapper brought his whole group with him. He brought some of his musicians and they performed. So we had live performance going on while we were on the show. Let me see if I can find any one of them real quick during the interview. But there we go. So you can see Ed Z right there. So we had live performers on the stage performing while during the show. So that was the first thing. There we see Jovel. So he started bringing in some heavyweight as far as performers that you could see. So if you know any of them, you know that we had them on the show. So it was a true blessing to have them on the show with Dapper PH. But then when he started bringing in the live performers, that made it even better. So it was a great show, great opportunity to get Jovel up there. So skipping through some people, I want to give a shout out to, because remember I said I had Joe Remington, but I also had Michelle Remington. So this was the first time that I had a husband and a wife on the show. So they were two different times, but I had the husband and the wife, both being guests on the show, and we had a wonderful time. Michelle and Joe Remington, two amazing people, and I truly was honored to have them on our show. Boom, and then after that, the week after that, we put the woman up, Sharon Jackson, probably my number one fan, always on the show when we're here and we're live. She's out there. She's super supportive, and that's my mom. So my mom actually she comes to the show and she was a guest on the show. So we talked and it was pretty cool having her as a guest. But then after that, it was really cool just having her, you know, be part of the show. It lets you know that you're doing something right when your mom is willing to, you know, come and be in a chat and hang out with you for at least 1 hour out of the day. So I just want to say thank you to her because it was a blessing to have her do the things that she do. 100%. I want to skip over some people, and not everybody's important. Don't ever get me wrong on that. I'm just trying to get through in a timely manner with this. This person that came up on the stage, I'm gonna put up on it when we got her up here as a guest. So we changed our intros and all. For those who know that person right there, that is Boss B. So Boss B, we got her on the show as a guest. So she was a guest on the show, and from there, it's like I need you to be part of this team. So Boss B became part of the team. Boss B, we do now have BBTV Productions, where Boss B is my producer, and she produces these shows. So it was we saw the need. Matter of fact, I'm on a location at the time. I don't even know what state I was in at that time, but I can see that I'm in a hotel room. But it was a cool thing about the way we do this because we can stream from everywhere and anywhere. And but having Boss B as a guest and then having her part of the team was awesome. So now at this point, Boss B, Walt Talks, it's a team of three, and we were making it happen. That's what we were trying to do. Trying to go on, and like I say, I don't want to hold you too much, and I want to say again, wishing you all happy holidays. If you haven't hit that like button, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please hit the subscribe button. If you haven't told anybody about the Iron Sharpening Iron show, hit that Iron Sharpening Iron, hit that share button and let your friends know, let your family know that there is a show where it's real talk, real people, real situations, and that's what we're all about. We're not about the clicks. That we want clicks, we want views. Don't ever get me wrong on that, but we're not looking for clickbait. We're not trying to put people out there and let me see what I can dig up. And this is not the Jerry Springer show. This is not the Steve Wilkos show and all of that stuff. But this is just real people talking real stuff, real situations, and we want real growth when the show is over. By the time this show is over, by the time any one of our shows is over, you should be stronger than you was when you came in. That is the purpose of the show. We are stronger together. And if each one would reach one, we all can grow and glow. And that's what it's all about. So, but if you haven't hit any of those buttons I talked about, and you know what they are, the like button, the share button, the subscribe button, and even the join button, please do so we can find out where you are. We know who you are, and you want to get in before we make this brand change, because we're going to be changing, and it's going to be hype. So be part of it. BBTV, love it, boss man. Happy to be part of it, 100%. Thank you, boss B, and happy holidays to you, and definitely speedy recovery to you. So where we at? Where was we at? Okay, so we got Aqua Funk up on the stage. So we in the fish keeping world. He has been a true supporter of the show, and 100%. But then another spinoff came from that. I believe I want to say this was the first time we did. After this was when we did the Gentleman's Journal. So that was the first time that we put the Gentleman's Journal in, which is the last Sunday of every month. So the last Sunday of every month, 7 p.m. Eastern time, is the Gentleman's Journal. And how does that work? We put 5 men on the panel, and we have men discussions. We talk about everything that you can think about, the men are talking about on the panel. So having a panel of men discussing men's topics is huge and is needed. But you can see what it looks like when it's happening. Matter of fact, we even got more on there this time. So we had people from all over the place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus myself. So yeah. So it's cool to have, men up on the stage having men conversations. And that's what it was all about at that time. So that's what the Gentleman's Journal, one of the spinoffs of the Iron Sharpening Iron show, one of the spinoffs from the Iron Sharpening Iron universe, and definitely produced by BBTV Productions with Boss B. So that's where we at. That's where we are. That's what we're doing, and we're still moving. We're still moving. We talked so many different things. We had a moment while we was here. We had a moment, and we know about it now. And she talks about it, so it's not like it's a secret or anything like that. But we had a guest on the show, Cindy Lifestyle and More was her channel, and it was her husband Greg sitting next to her, and she was the guest, but Greg was super supportive of her, and he was right there with her the whole time. And this show was had to be a Sunday show. I want to say it was a Sunday show, if I'm not mistaken. But I know before our very next show, she had reached out, or not her, but her family had reached out to me saying that Greg had passed. And it was like, wow. And it hit like a ton of bricks, because even though we're not related, when you're on the show, and I tell anybody who's ever been a guest on the show, you are a Hall of Famer. You're like family. And to find out that one of your family members had, passed and went on. So in 2025, we had that moment. We had that moment where it was like, it was sad. Every day it's not going to be, flowers and rainbows and all. You're going to have those moments, but it was very sad. So it was good to see Cindy's back up on her feet, and she's down doing lives again and doing videos and all. But it was a moment that we had that sad time. So just saying hello to Cindy Moore out there, and God rest his soul, Greg. Super nice guy, and I was looking forward to having him up on the show with us. and it just didn't never happen. He was on the show, but that was the last time that he was on a live on YouTube. And I'm gonna say I'm glad it was mine, but I'm glad that we got to spend some time with him uh, before he passed on. Never saying that any one guest is bigger than any other guest. We've had a lot of amazing guests up on the show, and I'm talking from all walks of life. But one of the coolest people we've had up on the show, and I just want to share real quick, um, is the real Veronica. So I don't know if anybody out there have ever watched or looked at some of maybe YouTube videos or TikTok, Instagram videos, and you see that person. It's more a cartoon when you see it, but they're like maybe talking with HR or in the office and giving you all kinds of more advice on how to handle a boss, or when somebody call you in or somebody wants you to work overtime but don't want to pay you and all of that. Some of those videos, well, this is the voice. This is the person. This is Veronica. So having her up on the stage and finding out about the cartoons and how she didn't those wasn't her ideas. So people was making money and getting millions and millions of views off of her voice. They didn't ask for permission. They was just copying her voice, putting it to animation, and was making millions and millions of views and likes and all of that from her without even getting her permission. So it was amazing to watch that. So one of the things that we learned from that with the Iron Sharpening Iron show was that, you got to protect yourself. You got to protect yourself. So if you got a good idea, if you're a content creator and you're out there, you got to protect yourself at all times, because there are people out there that's watching that don't want to do the work. They don't want to put in the work. They just want to reap the rewards of other people's work. And so that right there was like, wow, holy cow, Batman, that could happen. But it was cool having her up on the stage. I just seen, it's funny because I seen a commercial on my cable channel the other day, and it was Veronica. So she's up there doing now commercials on TV, that's huge. So congratulations to her for that, and looking forward to maybe getting her back on the stage one time soon. So Miss Veronica, thank you. From there, let's see if I can get this one up here, because this is amazing too. We've never had, this is a track star. So this is Shania Hebron out of Miami University, and track star, All-American, made it to the Pan American Games, possible going to the Olympics. But to have her up on the show in 2025 was huge. And it was nothing. It was amazing. It really is. She was telling us she's a track runner. She runs the 400 hurdles and some other events, but the 400 hurdles, I think, is her main event. And just watching, her share with us the experience. But if you also look in, and you can see we're starting to put backgrounds and in trying to follow whoever the guest is and put that, like, you got a track back there, and we've probably had football and baseball and all of the other things that we've done. So we're trying to now catch up with the world, not so much the world, but we're catching up on the things that you need to what do you call it, the things that you need to do to keep the show going, but keep your backdrops and all that stuff. So we were learning. So one of the things that we're going to be doing in 2026 is we got a show that's coming out called the Grow and Glow Academy. So the Grow and Glow Academy is going to help people who are looking to get into YouTube or any of the other platforms, but they're looking at, how do I set up my stage? How do I get myself ready, how to, interview a guest. So we're going to start doing a show called the Glow and Grow Academy. Grow and Glow Academy. And it's going to be on the second and third Wednesdays of every month. So there's 2 times a month, but each one is going to be full of lessons you're going to need if you're trying to start a channel, if you're trying to develop your channel, and definitely if you're trying to go live on your channel. We're going to give you everything we got. Now, Why would we do that? You can look at my subscriber numbers now, and you can say you don't have that many subscribers. You're not that important. You're not even big, because we can tell you where it's at right now. We can tell you what you're going to go through right now. You're not going to get that from the people that's already been there, because some of them forgot what it takes to get there. And you can tell me, I got 1 million subscribers. I'm gonna start another channel over today, and we're gonna do the same thing and da da da. If you don't think those 1 million subscribers know the other channel and they're gonna go over and flock it and blow it up real quick, you're only fooling yourself. But if you're starting in the bottom of, we all had to start at 1. Always remember that. Matter of fact, you started at 0. So we all started at 0, and you have to work and put some time in to get up to a point. So because of that, I'm asking, because the plan is we're going to help you build your channel and help you get to where you need to be. I'll be hosting along with Boss B, and we're going to come in here and we're going to attack every corner that we can so that you can be successful on your channel. So tune in the second and third Wednesdays of every month, starting in 2026, for the Grow and Glow Academy. So just be looking for that 100%. And I'm just speeding through. All of my guests was super important. So no one is, I don't want to exempt any if we can get through that. So, but we've had some wonderful guests on the show, and so grateful for all the different people that we've had up here. It's been an amazing journey. It has. It's been a amazing walk to be on the show, to have a co-host and a producer, and it's been awesome. It really has. We did something one day. It was funny because we did it, and we called it Flip the Script. And we allowed, and I'm not even sure who flipped the script. I think maybe it was Boss B was interviewing me and Walt Talks and myself, but somehow we flipped the script. So if you look at my team that's up there right now, we're doing the show, and I think at that time maybe Walt Talks didn't even have a name yet. We were still trying to figure out what his name was or was going to be, and but it was, matter of fact, he's Walt Talks there. But we flipped the script. Boss B's better than Nightbot, cleaning up the comment section and all of that good stuff. But then it was just like, wow, we got a good thing going here, and we really do. And it's been amazing. It really has. It's been an amazing year. And I just wanted to take this time to say thank you again to each and every person who has watched 1 second of the Iron Sharpening Iron show. 1 second of, sorry about that. Ooh, did I take myself off? Yeah. So if you watch 1 second of the show, if you've been like, let me stop messing around. All right. So I apologize to you all. There we go. Yeah, so I apologize. I'm playing with the buttons in the background. But if you watch 1 second of the show, if you tuned into 1 episode, if you've been a guest on the show, if you left 1 comment, if you're just a subscriber and you haven't even caught a show yet, I still want to say thank you. If this is your first time and it's like I was expecting more, well, we're at the end of the year. So because we're at the end of the year, I didn't have a guest set aside. This is Christmas Eve, and we're like, hey, the team is on, say, taking a break, taking vacation, and we know we're making a huge brand change come at the end of the year. So at the end of the year, we're going to be changing the brand. We're going to be going to a whole different name. So the Big Jack Storytime channel will still be the channel, but the name is going to change. So just letting you know that we're going to be doing a brand change at the end of this year. So January 1, this channel's name is going to change. I pray that you all will stay with us. If you have not yet hit that subscribe button and you're in here, I'm looking at 5 million people right now. So if you have not hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button. If you have not hit that like button, hit the like button. If you're looking at a place to call home, a safe place to be and to hang out, this is the right community. This is the Grow and Glow Together community. So go ahead and put that hashtag down there. Put that hashtag in there. hashtag grow and glow together. And that's what we all about, 100%. Yep. Grow and glow together. That is the hashtag. And you're more than welcome to hang out with us. I mean, everybody is welcome. The only thing that we ask you is to be respectful for one another, respectful to one another, and you got a place. You got a place. I know I seen earlier the person made a comment that they didn't have a friend. Well, you have a friend here. We've had so many different people come through, and I didn't hit every guest that we had. I could tell you that right now. There's no way to go through in a 1 hour time span and talk about each guest. All of them has been so amazing, so important. And I do want to get this one in before we close out, but let me see if I can find her. Because it was very important that we had her up on the stage, and I'm trying to get there. So give me a half a second if you can. Well, give me a full second. Sometimes I need the whole second because it is what it is. It is what it is. And I'm trying to find her right now because I'm missing her. I'm missing her when she was on the show, but I'll have to find it. So yeah, bear with me, please. And if I don't find it, but it's when we had Mama Lions on the show. So Mama Lions came on the show and she knocked it out the park. And because she knocked it out the park, she ended up being on the team. We ended up putting Mama Lions on the team itself. So the team now is made up of Boss B, Walt Talks, and Mama Lions, and of course myself, Big Jack Storytime. But that is the team. We are one team. We're stronger together. There's no what they call big I's and little U's and all of that stuff. I do believe that we all are important. That it takes each one of us to make this work. And I'm so grateful for all of the people that's been working with me. I'm blown away of the dedication that they all have, and to make this mission work. Because it's one thing for me myself to say, hey, I'm going to turn my channel over to other people to be on this platform. But that's what it was all about. It's not about me, it's about we. And that's how I see it. And because I see it that way, this is what we do and this is how we get it done. And I thank you again for being a part of this journey. And I'm asking you, if you haven't already done so, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, if you haven't already hit the like button, if you're still wondering if you should, do it. Go for it. If you haven't joined the group, join the group. You want to join this group. It's amazing. It really is. You would be blown away when you get in there and you start looking and talking. You'll be like, oh wow, I didn't know they were like that. They're 100% like that on the regular. On the regular, they're like that, and you want to be a part of it. So don't miss out. Not that we're going to be starting up in 2026, but I'm telling you, you want to be a part of it. So hit that join button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. Let everybody know what's going on because it's happening, and it's happening fast. So I'm super grateful again for all the people who have been with us during this 2025 journey. In 2025, we were able to go live. So we had our 50 subscribers. We were able to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. We was able to get the 4,000 watch hour mark and get monetized. We were able to build a team, a network of people with Boss B, Walt Talks, and Mama Lions. And we're still growing. I mean, we have spinoffs. The spinoff shows, the Gentleman's Journal, the last Sunday of every month, the Ladies' Diary, the first Wednesday of every month, the We Be Jamming live show, the last Saturday of every month. And then you have the Coach's Corner, hosted by Mama Lions. Excuse me. That's the second and the fourth Sunday, and that's 2 p.m. Mountain Time. You got the Iron Sharpening Iron show. That's every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Oh, I'm sorry, every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. You now have the Grow and Glow Academy, which is the second and third Wednesday of every month. Monday through Friday, 12 noon Central Time, you have the Ask a Bee show, where Boss B hosts a show every day of the week. And then on Saturdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, she hosts a jukebox journey show where she highlights musicians and bring them in. So it's so many spinoffs that we're doing with the Iron Sharpening Iron show and the spinoffs. And again, like I said, the brand is getting ready to change. When this brand change and the movement starts, you want to be on the train. You want to be on the train when the movement starts. Don't be that person like, I wish I woulda, coulda. And if you are and you have a desire to be part of something, you have a place, you have a space in the Iron Sharpening Iron universe. If you're thinking, man, I would like to be a guest on the Iron Sharpening Iron show, I am looking for guests. I am 100% looking for guests. And you can reach out to me to be a guest on the show. So those are some of the things that we're doing. I mean, I could drop all kinds. We got, let me see if I can put it in there. See if that's the one. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for, but it's okay. Yeah, sometimes you get what you're looking for and sometimes you don't, but it's all good. But I'm just going to say that right there. So you're welcome to the show. Hit the like button. And if you haven't, hit that subscribe button. But with all of that being said, again, happy holidays to you all. I'm hoping you have a happy new year. I'm hoping that 2025 has been a good year for you, but I am super excited about 2026. This has been a wonderful ride. It has been a wonderful journey. And I'm excited that you have spent some of it with me, even if it was just for this 1 hour. If you are looking for, again, a safe place, a place that you can call home, a place that you can call your community, where you're looking for real people with real talk and real growth, you found it. You're here. This is it. This is it right here. This is the place you want to be. If you're that adult that's looking for that place to be safe and to hear real talk, real conversation from real people with real situations, you're welcome. You're here. You have hit it. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Let me know how we did today. Because it's important. It's important. I need that feedback. My team will tell you, and I'm telling you, I strive off of that feedback. I need to know how did we do, because it's important to know how you did. It's important to know how things are going, because that's how we grow. That's how we grow. That's how I grow. I need that feedback. But I'm so grateful as I close this out. And if you're out there and this is a sad time or a bad time, the holidays is not for everybody. My prayers go out to you and your family. My prayers go out to you and your family. Yeah, because it can be a rough time. This is a great time for me because I was born in this time frame. So when I come back from I'll say mini vacation, I will be a year older. So that's going to be cool in itself for me. But with all that being said, I know it's not for everybody. So I'm not even going to act like it is. But I'm going to say happy holiday to you. And I hope that whatever's going on with you, that it be worked out. And that 2026 will be a much better year than 2025. Because we should grow and glow. And together, we can do that. We can help each other get there. Each one reach one. We can all grow and glow because we are stronger together. With that, I'm going to tell you all good night. God bless. I see Major Johnson just popped in the house. What's up, my brother? Yeah, that's another supporter right there. I want to close this out, but it's hard to do because you got all these great people popping in. So I'm thankful for you all. I really thank you all. You know, it's just so cool to have y'all here with me, hanging with me. And I wanted to make sure that I reached out and put this out there. You know, did a Lisa live, even though I didn't have a guest today. I wanted to just say, hey, you know, you're important. You're important to me. You know, you make this work. You make this work, and that's what it's all about. So, Mr. Johnson out there, happy holidays to you. Miss Patty, our number one supporter, happy holidays to you and the 7 million people that's out there right now. We thank you all for tuning in with me. I thank you for tuning in with me. Boss B, if you're still out there, thank you, Boss B, for hanging out. And Boss B better than Nightbot, taking care of business out there. But you know, it's one of those things where I feel like singing a Christmas carol, but I don't want to scare anybody off. So. But that's what's up. That's what's up. But it's been a blessing. It really has. I'm glad that I was able to spend a 1 hour with you, and I'm looking forward to this brand change. You just don't know how excited I am about this change, and I'm looking forward to. Wow, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So with that, I'm going to tell you all again. Now I'm going to say it for real, for real. Good night. God bless you. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. And if when you see these shows coming up Wednesday and Sunday throughout the rest of the year, do you know what we're going to replay our best show for whatever that spinoff is? And hope you enjoy watching it again. But stay tuned for 2026. The brand will change, but the mission is still the same. All right. God bless you all. Talk to you later. Good night.